All right. It's Friday. It's the end of the week, and there's no better time than to talk about the rapture than on a Friday. Get people mindful of what's coming down the pipes. We've been talking a lot about wars, rumors of wars, and today I have a fantastic guest, which is Bob Barber. So he's going to be joining us today who is the founder of Feed My Sheep Today, and also the creator of a YouTube channel called End Time Dream and Vision. So that's amazing. He's going to be on today. And a lot of people maybe don't know this, but I actually work for Bob as well with Feed My Sheep Today. And we'll talk a little bit about my position, what I do. Chances are you've probably had a phone call from me. If your credit card expired, or if you wanted to change an email address or update your personal information, maybe you moved to another state or whatever, chances are you've probably received a phone call from me. So, and also today we have another special guest by the name of Ed, and this is the first time on this channel with us, who also works with Feed My Sheep Today. So, without any further ado, let's bring these gentlemen on board. Welcome, guys. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. You?
I am doing fantastic. It's Friday.
Amen.
Happy
Amen.
Fridays.
Happy
It's
Friday.
Friday and it is cold.
Oh, yes.
Our kids are my son. He's a junior in high school. They're having an e-learning day today. They all stayed home and everything. And furnace had a little trouble running today. The house is just so cold, and the furnace can't keep up.
Wow.
Yeah,
I was
it's,
a little
it's,
worried
it's,
there
it's
for a
pretty
minute.
bad out here right now.
So I thought I'd bring you guys on today, and it's funny you guys are talking about cold, and I live in Canada. I think we invented cold. Actually, I think we invented coldness. If you look up the definition of cold, you'll see Canada right beside see Canada for an explanation.
See Canada.
So it is cold here as well. But I wanted to here's my segue. See if this is a good segue. The temperature seems to be heating up in the world right now. So let's move away from this front over to another front and talk about wars, rumors of wars, and why it's important. And maybe we can get Bob, maybe we can get you to dive into a little bit of the origins of Feed My Sheep Today. But I want to tackle the idea of why it's more important today than ever to give. And we want to encourage people not to hold off on giving and think, you know what, I'm going to wait till next year to 2027 and then I'm going to start giving, because I'm going to wait for things to shake out a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about that, because we're not promised tomorrow. That's the biggest thing. We're not promised tomorrow, nor do we know when Jesus Christ is going to return. I still believe Jesus Christ can return at any time. So, Bob, how did you come up with this idea for Feed My Sheep Today?
Well, it was the Lord's idea, basically. This whole operation belongs to the Lord. I'm just a steward of it. And basically, it started on its own, where I was started my YouTube channel back in 2012, 2013. And I wanted to do more than just make YouTube videos and educate the body of Christ. So I started telling people that I will give them free Bibles. And that's what I did for for a few years. I was doing that, and basically using up my own money, and doing loans and lines of credit, remortgaging my home and stuff like that to get the money to keep coming in and supporting Christian missions. And it worked good for a while, but then when things started getting too big, I personally couldn't keep up with it. And this is when somebody mentioned to me, it's like, hey, Bob, and I remember her name is Debbie Hortzman. She said, hey, can I help you out with the Bible distribution? And I thought to myself, sure. And she said, do you have a PayPal? I was like, yes, I do. And Then she told me, you need to mention this to people on your channel, what you're doing, that you need help doing it. And I didn't want to be that guy, man. I didn't want to be that guy asking for money. I hated that stuff, man. I was in network marketing, all stuff like that. I hate sales. I hate asking people for stuff. And I was like, we'll see. And then the Lord really started nagging at me. Hey, this is a lot bigger operation. Come here. You can't keep up with it with your own money. You need to start asking. I'll take care of it. Okay. I already have people who are in place to do this, who are faithful and loyal to me. All right. And that's what I started doing. I made a video, say, hey, you want to help? And long story short, people started helping. And over a period of time, the Lord kept leading me this direction, that direction, as we continue to build it, and built it for many, many years. Now we're going on probably since this 2026. So we're looking at around 14 years since our inception, 13, 14 years since the inception of Feed My Sheep Today, or at least the work that I'm doing. All right. And of course, we've been sending funds overseas to buy Bibles. And we used to actually send the Bibles overseas. I had to hunt the Bibles down in different languages, buy them, try to coordinate with companies that would ship them. And it just became a big pain in the butt to be able to do that, and very expensive. All right. And then it just, in this little Lord's like, hey, Bob, just send them the money. Okay. And it's a lot easier, a lot cheaper. Send them the money. And then you'd be surprised the type of Bibles that they can find, that they can buy in their country, especially like India, for example. Big, beautiful Bibles, $2 a piece. All right. Luscious. Wow. I mean, these things look like, if we bought them here, it'd be like $80 a piece, $100 a piece, a Bible.
Right.
But I was sending everybody these little, dollar store Bibles, like that big, tiny print, So they have access to Bibles in other countries, especially in their correct languages. The missionaries know which ones to get for the non-English readers, KJV for the English readers. So the Lord took care of all that. The Lord just keeps on leading me, make change here, do this, do this, do that. And it's just been 14 years of doing this as Feed My Sheep continues to grow. All right. And of course, now he's putting urgency on me now that we're right about there at the point of the rapture now. Okay. So that's basically, how the company came to be. And of course, it got so big that I ended up having to get help because I couldn't keep up with this no more by myself. So I asked my brother Shane here, brother Ed here, and other members of our team to start helping us to be able to do all the work that I was doing by myself that I can't do no more, because it's just gotten so big. All right. And what I love about Feed My Sheep Today is we just focus on Bibles, humanitarian relief aid. That's it. We don't build buildings. We don't do that stuff like other churches do, because I know that churches here in America see about 3 to 4, maybe 6 salvations per year. Average church building here in America, where Feed My Sheep Today, we see over 100 new salvations per hour. Wow. Okay, that's 2,400 new salvations per day, and over 1 million on average per year, new salvations. Okay, your biggest mega church. I went to a mega church here by my home, and they were big on outreach and everything, but only at the church. And they were huge on outreach, and they had impressive numbers. You know what they brought in every year? 10 to 15,000 new salvations.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And Feed My Sheep Today is running over 1 million new salvations per year. Teaching the correct gospel, by the way.
Right. That's important too.
Mm-hmm. So that's if you want to make a high impact in the body of Christ right now, whether it's here at Feed My Sheep Today or somewhere else, just make sure that it's mainly focused on outreach, getting the Bibles into the hands of those who are unsaved, and providing humanitarian relief aid. Because look, we show up to these places and people love to get a Bible, Shane. They love to get a Bible, Ed. But you know what, though? It's kind of hard to listen to good preaching on an empty stomach.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to listen to good preaching when you are dying of some infirmity or something like that. So, or you're freezing to death or whatever. So this is where our humanitarian relief aid comes in. where we provide this for people before we preach. We show up, hey, we want to help. Start helping people in the area. And then our missionaries start talking to them individually. And then at the end, we unleash this big visual presentation of the gospel using projection screens and stuff like that. And, sound systems for large crowds of people and stuff like that. So it's a wonderful system. God's been extremely happy with what we've been doing over the years. Feed My Sheep Today has grown exponentially because of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm always searching for, hey, Lord, what are we doing wrong? Please change it. Show me.
Yeah.
What do we got to do? Because that's just the way, and that's the way I run this thing.
Yeah.
So always leaving it in the Lord's hands. And right now we're getting pummeled with a ton of new locations that want us to reach out to. Look, the word's getting out.
Yep.
Okay. In a third world country, if you're doing stuff like that, hey, look at us over here. So that's starting to happen now. And the problem is we don't have the financial support to reach more people on that level. Okay.
Right.
We only have so much coming in where we continue to move like this train. This train is not accelerating. Okay. So it seems like we're hitting a ceiling right now, which kind of makes you think, is a rapture at hand? Because we are kind of hitting the ceiling right now.
Right.
And, but that's kind of where we're at. So if anybody feels led to give right now, especially if it's like one-time substantial amount, that'd be greatly needed, especially this month, because we're running behind, because January is a very, very slow month. People giving, because it's just after the holidays, everybody's spent, and things are just slow. It's cold out there. I know it sucks. And it's quarter one. Quarter ones are always slow for business. That's just the way it is. So there's a lot of people out there in need, and just hate to sit there and say, can't reach it to next month because the funding's not here right now.
Yeah. And right. I think that's important to talk about, because I have a link right here. This is basically a QR code. So if somebody's at home watching on TV, they could, I'm drinking a vanilla latte right now, and it's in my throat. So they could just click on the link, and it'll take you right to that website. And then below, you can also see the ticker that's scrolling across. Just visit feedmysheeptoday.org. And I think what Bob mentioned is interesting, because at Christmas time, we have no problem buying gifts that people don't use, period. They just don't. Like, they'll open up the present, put it aside, and then they'll open up another present, put that aside. And then chances are, probably most of the time, if we're being honest as men, we buy our wives the wrong gift, and then they take it back, and then they buy the one that they wanted. So what about the idea of after Christmas? I get it. People have to clean up their credit cards and all this kind of stuff. But what about giving to something that is eternal? Mm-hmm. And when Jesus showed, basically, there was I believe she was a widow. She went up to the temple and she was giving not very much by worldly standards, but she was giving a lot according to her. And Jesus said, like, she is going away blessed, because we're not asking people to give out of their abundance, because that's one thing. If you have so much extra cash and you're like, what do I do with this extra cash and that? That's not what we're talking. We're talking about sacrificial giving. And it's not so much about the amount anymore. It's about the idea of where your heart is. If you believe in an organization that they're helping people out, they're getting Bibles into their hands, they're feeding people, and we're trying to expand into other countries. And if we get missionaries that are saying, hey, I see what you do for this person, and can you help us out in this? We're building an orphanage or whatever it is. And we say to them, well, we had the finances for you, but we decided to pull it away because there are a bunch of people that don't give. That's not how it works. We still support these people. We just take it from another area that was going to be handling that fund, but then we got to shift it over because somebody decided, you know what, Christmas is more important to me than to give to an organization. So I'm going to pause my giving, and then I'm going to unpause it in the new year. That's what people do. And I've done it before. Times are tough or whatever. You pause your giving and whatever, but people don't miss Christmas. It's weird. People don't miss. They pinch, they sacrifice, and birthdays are coming up and they pinch holidays to go to Mexico. They're like, we're not missing our holiday. So if you can convert that energy to organizations like Feed My Sheep today, if it's 20, $30 a month, maybe look somewhere else instead of pausing here and going, you know what? I'm going to let that go, but maybe I'm not going to go to Starbucks this week. Maybe I'm going to change a little bit of how I live, just a little bit, not just minor little tweaks, and continue giving, because we don't want to have those conversations with missionaries saying, we gotta kind of dig into another well because somebody in America decided not to give because Christmas is more important to them. That's embarrassing. So what we're trying to do is maintain, and people that are sustaining our Feed My Sheep Today army, we're keeping them going because we believe we have a mission. And man, if the rapture happens tomorrow and you're in front of Jesus Christ, don't you want to be able to hear him say, well done, thou good and faithful servant? Like, you gave what you had. You gave. We're not asking 100%. We're just asking to pray about it, put it in your heart. And then if you reach out, donate, I'll give you a call as well. Just leave your number when you're donating. Leave your phone number. I will call you to say thank you. And I'll also share with you what we're actually doing and where your money's going to. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. And plus, being here in America too is, look, it's we make up about 7% of the world's population, but we control about 80% of the world's wealth. All right. So, and of course, Alberta, Canada is a close second right there. All right. So, with that being said, folks, I think this is why the Lord put us here. Look, we live in a land of comfort. All right. And the land of comfort and the land of wealth, you're pretty much, it's almost like that's how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm expected to be able to be that guy that reaches out financially to help those who are in need, third world countries, because they're not in the land of wealth. They're not in the land of freedom. They're not in there. So this is why the United States has always been the number one country for financial outreach for missions of any sorts, especially Christian missions, bigger than any other country on the planet. Okay, because all the wealth is here. All right. And I'm glad God chose to put me here so that way I can be a blessing to people out there who are suffering.
Yeah.
So you should feel really good about yourself, the fact that you live here in the United States. And if you live here in the United States, and you're just like, you know what, $30 a month, that's just too much for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lord, I know you put me here to be a blessing to everybody else. You gave me the 10 talents instead of one by putting me here in America, but I'm not going to do nothing with it. I'm going to keep buying these lattes. Okay. Yep. That's between you and God. I can't say anything bad is going to happen to you, but that's something you have to answer for at the Bema seat.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're missing out on a ton of blessings as well.
Yeah.
But that's why I support Feed My Sheep Today. I donate to it as well. I'm a monthly sustainer as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
So that's go ahead.
And in fact, after this conversation, I'm probably going to up my giving as well. But we're not asking people to give based on what they make. That's the misconception here. That's the misconception. People are like, well, I don't make enough to give. You don't know what God can do with your money. You don't. The hardest part, and I don't care what organization you give to, if you're giving from a stingy heart, don't give. Please don't give. If you're thinking, I'm so terrified and I'm scared that the creator of the universe that created the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything, but I don't think he can handle my Visa debt or whatever it is, then maybe hold off because you're afraid. we're not asking those people to give. What we're saying is, if you have been rewarded by having a job and you're working hard and all this stuff, and you're like, you know what? I want something to last in eternity. That's all we're saying. I don't care if it's $7, $10, $20, $100, $1,000, whatever. It's not based on what you make. It's based on what you can give. Paul talks about that in Corinthians. He's like, look, guys, you guys are in a better position than the people in Jerusalem are because there was a famine. So I'm asking you guys to give. And so, not to embarrass anyone, when my pals show up, I want you guys to give ahead of time. So when they show up, all you have to do is just hand the money over to them and they can bring it to the other churches. And better believe, when those churches go through hard time or go through plenty, I'm going to be going to those churches to ask for you when you go through a hard time. So it's not about what we make or what we earn. It's about what the Lord puts on our heart, and then we just give and give joyfully. That's so important. If you miss that, keep your money. But if you're like, man, I want God's kingdom to expand, and this is one way that I could do it while I'm working, I can give money to missionaries that are actually preaching the correct gospel, and they're actually putting Bibles in their language in their hands. I'm telling you, there's a celebration in heaven for that.
Mm-hmm. Amen. And it's good thing about heaven, guys. There's no money in heaven. Okay, money is only a tool used here on the earth, and it's a tool, and it's a tool that you use to get you through life, feed yourself, feed your family, put a roof over your head, take care of your family. But it's also a tool that you can. It's an optional tool that you can use to build the body of Christ. And you have a choice. If you want to build the body of Christ, your options are start a YouTube channel, get out there and preach and teach and do stuff like that. Educate the body of Christ. All right. Lead people to Christ. That's one way of doing it. Two, if you don't have the time or energy or the gumshoe, whatever it takes to be able to do something like that, maybe you're introverted. Guess what? You have option number two, which is to reach out financially to those who are really good at this stuff, and they can go out and reach the lost for you. Okay. And that's where Apostle Paul talks about that. There are those who water, those who sow the seed, and those who water. But the reward is still the same for the both of them. Okay. It takes a team of people. All right. So essentially, when you join Feed My Sheep today with your donating, you're joining a team of people, a vineyard that works together collectively. And then at the Bema seat, you are a reward essentially for what Feed My Sheep today achieves collectively. All right. And right now, I told you before, hey, that's 2,000 plus salvations per day. All right. Over 1 million salvations per year. Would you like to be a part of that at the Bema seat? And I'm not sure how it's going to go. Okay. But just me. What do you say there, Shane?
Off the record.
I was like, hey, you did this. Now we noticed that you given to a good organization that brought in this much salvation. So because of what was achieved over here, and then those were saved, and you were smart enough to put it towards them instead of putting a new parking lot down for your church, this actually led to salvations. So this is what you're going to receive based off of that now. Okay. So you're like, yay. All right. So I believe that there are balances in where you put your money. Okay. Because that guy, the servant, was judged for putting his money in a drawer or hiding it in the ground or whatever he did to it. And then he just gave it back. All right. And when you do that, that's not you just holding on to your money and never using it. No, that's you taking your money, spending on yourself because you're scared.
Yep.
And then, then the Lord will judge you for that because you didn't use any of it to build his kingdom. Okay. So whether it's at Feed My Sheep today or somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. If you don't give here, that's fine. And plus, like what Shane said, if you're afraid, don't give. I've been in that boat. I'm afraid. I've been in a boat a bunch of times. Okay, afraid, don't give. Okay, and trust me, when you give, when you're afraid, all
Yeah.
right, and you have resentment, it's always bad things always follow that. But when you give out of joy, great things follow it. I don't know why it works that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you feel that way, if you're scared, just keep your money. You're not ready. Okay,
Yeah.
but if you are ready to make an impact, I tell you what, we're running out of time. Things are heating up like you wouldn't believe. World War III is on deck now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have a whole lot of time here to get the work done that we need to do.
I just
Okay.
because I have access to the account via donor box, I just upped my giving right now. It made me a little bit nervous, but you're convicting me. So I'm like, I gotta do what we're talking about right now, right? So I just up my giving, and I'm like, a little bit. Whew, it got hot in here a little bit, but again, I believe in organization. I believe we're going places. I believe we're getting more Bibles every single day, and this is some things that people don't realize perhaps and think about. I get the emails. I read all your emails, and one of the things people ask is it the King James Bible only? And I love the King James Bible in English because that's what I can read. I can't read Swahili, Greek, Hebrew, Latin, all this stuff, but I read it in English. So doesn't it make sense to get a Bible into someone that doesn't speak English, to get it in their language so they can hear about the gospel of Jesus Christ? And the answer is absolutely yes. So that's what we do is we work with the missionaries around the world, and we ask them what language. They'll tell us the language, and then we get them the funds so that they can buy the Bible in their language. And I think that is a beautiful thing.
Hmm. Now, one thing I like to cue Ed up
Oh
for
yeah.
this.
Hey Ed,
Brother,
how you doing? Welcome to the show, Ed.
I like to cue Ed up for this. Now, brother Ed, what he does for Feed My Sheep today, he does like he's basically the guy behind the screen. Have you ever seen those movies where all these troops and soldiers are all moving around? Then there's one guy that sits in a van with all the computer stuff. That's
Yep.
who Ed is for Feeding My Sheep
Yes.
today. So it kind of like the three of us actually, but Ed for the most part, because now people wonder, okay, we're gonna give the Feed My Sheep today, but where does the money go? And is the money being used correctly? Okay, is it just being wasted? All right. Are people just taking and buying brand new cars? Are we able to track the stuff that's going on with this money going overseas? And the good news is through what Ed is working on now. And look, people, we put videos out to prove what the money's being spent on. Okay. But we're dialing it more down, even more now. And brother Ed here, he's going to explain what he does. And one of the things he's really good at, he has a system set up, is now we can track every single missionary wherever they go and the amount of Bibles they give out. And we can track whether or not if it's in the same area or a different area. We always want to move in the different areas. So basically, we can track them now and make sure they're using every single penny to the fullest of building the body of Christ. Okay. So with that being said, Ed, how do you do it?
Well, hi. So, in short, the system that we're creating now that we've implemented from when I start. Okay, so we're gonna backtrack a bit. When I first started, you had me starting doing videos. I started doing videos so you can concentrate more on reaching out and doing more reach outs to people and trying to get the word across to as many minds, ears, and eyes that we possibly could. So my role at that point was to take on videos. From there, I started making videos every week, 3 times a week. We started switching around, changing formats, changing playouts, changing times in which they were loaded up, loaded down. And we have seen an increase and decrease. But one of the big questions of what we've always been asked was, where are my funds? Where are they going? What are we doing with it? Can you see where are my funds actually going to? I want to see my work. Well, your work is all on display. And it's on display in the YouTube channel of Feed My Sheep today. Everything we do is right there. There's no lie. I get every year we get mountains of data through terabytes and thumb drives of what they do all year, separated by all year. And what we do is we take little bits, so this spot and this spot and this one, put them together, and this is what we're doing here. That, just progression through the year.
Yeah.
But we've always been asked, like, how do we keep track of it on monthly? How do we know we're not just recycling stuff? How do we know we're not doing all that stuff? Well, the system that I've worked with now, we're created a couple different platforms that the missions are going to be using. The missions now are going to be using a system where they upload them every month. They upload them daily if they have them. They'll have access.
I think this is important because it shows us that the Bibles are actually getting into the right hands. And then also people have asked me personally, how can I earmark some of this stuff? Because I might want it to go to one missionary or one organization, and maybe it doesn't have to be 100% Bibles. I would like it to go to food or clothing or whatever it is. And maybe this is a good time to mention that people can actually earmark so that 100% of their donation goes exactly where they want it. If they want it to, if they just leave it alone and no comments,
right,
we will decide for them where it goes based on the needs of our missionaries. But if they put in the comments and, hey, I would like this to go to Operation Bible Storm, or I would like it to go to a missionary in this country or whatever, we can do that because it actually frees up funds somewhere else.
Right.
Instead of shifting it over. So I don't know if you guys want to
mention
that as well.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've noticed in emails and through correspondences with donors and givers, that they are always saying that they want to help something specific, something draw them out and say, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. I want to do it here, but I don't know how to do it here. We're going to be implementing in the very near future, a system that allows you to say, I want my funds to go to this spot. I want my funds to be used for this. I want my funds to, I want what I'm going to give. I want it to be here. And then obviously whatever we have that's already been kind of filled, we'll use whatever has been given to fill in the gaps of everywhere else we haven't been able to.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll be able to designate. People will be able to say, I want to put this massive donation to cover all of this right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's we can basically go tag note, done, got it, set.
Yeah. Because there are some missionaries where their needs are taken care of. And then there are others where we need more resources. So what we do behind the scenes is allocate money depending what's coming in. So you have a pool of money come in at the end of the year, tally everything up and say, okay, these guys get this much, these guys get this much and that. So once those are taken care of, because we're actually designating it for those missionaries, we can now release funds for some other project that has a greater need because they're taken care of, which is fantastic. Right. Like that's stewardness.
This way it works. And I'll tell you what, right now, of all the people who donate to Feed My Sheep today, I think we only have like 1% that want to say, hey, it has to go here. It has to go there.
Yeah.
And we do it. But it's not a lot of people do it. You can do it, but it's a very tiny percentage. So, but what Ed's talking about is we have a system that we're going to be putting in place that, first of all, people all throughout the years have been doing that, and we have been moving those funds to those locations. Sometimes these missionaries are getting more funds than others, which is sad to watch, but I got to honor what the giver wants to do. Okay. One missionary might already be funded, but hey, this guy wanted to pour money on you guys. And the thing is, I think in myself, okay, the Lord wants that to go here for a reason. And then come to find out that they'll get hit with some medical stuff or whatever. So it always works out. But what we have coming here in the near future, and I'll talk about it now, but we're not set up for it yet, is we are going to begin opening up a limited amount of spots for people to be able to personally sponsor their own missionary and personally sponsor their own orphanage. It'll be your orphanage, your missionary, and whatever work they do, you receive all the content. They'll send you everything, and we also receive it too because we have to promote them. Okay, but that will be available next month because that's what we're working on now.
So when you say I think to be clear, you're saying within the Feed My Sheep organization, we have orphanages, we have missionaries. You can pick one to support, and that's yours moving
Yep.
forward. So you can actually track what's going on there.
Correct.
And it's a
Mhm.
beautiful thing. I think Ed's going to be setting up heat maps and all kinds of stuff where you can actually see, oh, look, here's a need here on the map. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep. So
Mm-hmm.
right now we've introduced a new mapping system onto the feedmysheeptoday.org. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the long map of the world, and then you'll see blue dots. And these blue marker dots are actual locations where we are currently having a missionary at as the moment. In these when we introduce the heat maps, when we introduce the sponsorship programs, these heat maps were going to be, hey, this one's heated more, because this one's been funded more, this one's been funded less. You can say, okay, I feel like donating, but I don't know where to donate. We're going to direct you. We're going to say, this is where we need the help the most. But you can also donate to whatever you'd like. But this is where we're needing the most help at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
perfect.
awesome.
I love that map because if you go back to that map up there, this is on our website right now. You see those dots right there.
Yep.
If you click on these dots, what we're working on ultimately is one stop, one place, nice and easy. Click, and you can see where everything is going on in every single location that we have representatives working. Okay, and right now you see a lot of the stuff is kind of centered around Africa and Pakistan, India, and stuff like that. Okay. And now we're starting to get stuff here in America. And we're also going to begin looking for new organizations to do like what the missionaries are doing. And they're going to be doing that here in America.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have organizations there too that we need sponsors for. But what's going to be great on that map is you can go anywhere on that map and you can choose where you want to support anywhere on that map.
Did you just say you just gave out my little Easter egg?
What's that?
You just gave out my little Easter egg. Oh, like it.
Easter egg.
Well, you said the sponsorships are in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have that one planned to talk about today, but I guess we can.
Yeah, well, we have a massive. That's the direction we're heading right now is sponsorship because, believe it or not, there are actually people out there that like the idea of keeping it simple for themselves, and they like to be able to just send the money to one place and be able to personally connect with the location where the money's hitting, personally connect with the people they're directly impacting. Okay. And I'll remind you once again, 100% of your funds, if you're going to be a sponsor, because if you want to sponsor any of these locations right now, we will take you right now. Okay. Just because we don't have it set up here on the map yet, but we leave sponsors right now. But 100% of your funds actually goes, if you're a sponsor, 100% of it goes to your location. We'll even cover, Feed My Sheep Today will cover the transfer fees and the money and everything. So we want to make sure 100% of your sponsored money goes to your orphanage. Nothing goes to overhead or nothing. We will make sure 100% of your money goes towards your sponsored location.
And for people that are donating currently, we also added this feature. I put this on the website. Basically, this little says, "Hey, I'm Shane. I'm here to assist." That's basically me. That comes to my phone. So whenever, let's just say your credit card expires or you're moving to another state or whatever it is, people will actually go on the website and they're like, "I'm not sure where to go," or whatever. Just go inside there and we can update. If you have an existing account and you're like, you know what, I feel the Lord leading me to donate more, just reach out to me there, leave your phone number, and I'll give you a call and I can help you out at any time. If you have prayer requests, whatever it is, I monitor that every single day. Do I get to everybody right away? No, because there's lots of requests and there's lots of behind the scenes stuff, but I just chop away at that every single day. That's my job, is to respond to people on there. And if they need, maybe they're adding a different credit card, or they're, like I said, maybe they got a job change, they got a promotion, whatever it is that they're doing, we can have that conversation over the phone, and it'll be me and you. So, which is nice, one-on-one over the phone.
Absolutely. So a lot of great changes we're making here, and you're going to see a lot of big changes here on the website, reflected on the website over the next 30 days or so. Okay. But But as far as if you're interested in sponsoring an orphanage, sponsoring a missionary, okay, if the Lord has blessed you in that manner, go to the Lord in prayer about it. No, you don't want to come on and say, I'll help for 1 month. If you're going to do that, just say, I'm going to be a one-time donor and give it to this missionary over here. Okay. And you can do that. All right. We appreciate any help that comes in, any amount that comes in right now, because right now, like I said, January is a very, very, very slow month for everybody right now. And got missionaries standing by. They haven't done any work yet this month because we just haven't been able to raise enough funds for them to get their work done this month. So, so that opportunity is there for you as well. So,
yeah. And I just see right now, today, let's see, Cindy Ray she's been on our channel. She's been, what do you call it? On the various channels, helping out in the background, all that kind of stuff. So I see that she gave today. George gave as well, which is pretty cool. Cindy, another Cindy, which is great as well. That's in yesterday. So they're starting to, people are actually going, hey, let's see how easy it is to give. And we get updates as people are starting to give. Carol, Amy, Alan. So thank you for that. Thank you, guys. And maybe this is something we should do. Maybe it's on a weekly basis on the Friday or something, to personally thank people on our channel and just say, you know what?
Yeah.
Thanks, Alan, for giving. This is monthly. Daisy, this is an interesting story. There are some people that have actually paused their giving for several months, and they email me because they get the newsletter that I send out every single month. And this person actually unpaused their account, and or one of these people, and basically they just said, you know what, I was going to do a one-time donation, but because I've been reading your newsletters every single month to see what you guys are up to, I felt the Lord put on my heart, I'm going to give, I'm going to change it to a monthly sustainer. And this is part of our Feed My Sheep army, Feed My Sheep Today army. We're building an army right now so that we could manage the resources and point them in the right direction, because we get missionaries that are calling us up and saying, we need food, we need clothing, we need Bibles. And if they got Bibles, we'll shift over to food and shelter and clothing and renovating some of these orphanages. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Bob, because some people have buildings, but they don't have the funds to convert them into an orphanage or into a church. They're already existing. So what we're doing is helping them rebrandish it, change it into a church. And you need seats, you need equipment, audio equipment, all this stuff to be able to preach the gospel. That just doesn't fall out of the trees. This is what we face every single week.
Amen. Were you about to say something there, Ed?
I was actually going to comment on the whole the orphanage situation. We've seen the orphanages and churches situation. We've seen, and if you go back through videos and go and you go into the things, I've actually gotten several notifications that they're starting to want to build a church. They're wanting to build this. They're wanting to build that. But again, same thing that Brother Shane just marked on. It has stopped. They had to stop because what we are able to provide them is primarily for the humanitarian aid and for the Bibles. But any endeavor to go forward and say, I want to build a church in this location, because there are no churches around here, but everybody wants to hear about this, but they have nowhere to go to hear about this. We've seen pictures where they have sheets between two buildings and they're sitting under the sheet just to stay out of the sun or whatever while they do their stuff. They're building kind of their own churches, but they also say, hey, we want to build a church, but we can't do it.
Yeah. Well,
just a quick update. I was in the wrong tab. I was in the monthly sustainer. So our one-time donations, I just wanted to say a quick thanks to Debbie, Ken, Cindy, you're the one-time, which is great. Sally, Luis, thank you for giving. Alexander, hopefully I said your name right. Thank you for giving. These are today. Jennifer, Lynn, Cody, Michael, another Michael, Renee, Janine, Derek. This is all coming in today. So thank you
And it's
very
not
much
even
for that.
PM yet.
Yeah, still the
Amen.
morning. So
Shows
thank you
still
guys
goes
for
for that.
that.
But
That's
to touch
awesome.
in on the other part, which Brother Shane had said, which was we have mission, or actually, Brother Bob, you said it too, which was we get notifications from other missionary prospects saying, "Hey, we want help. We want to be part of this." And I've got lists of them. We don't have the funds for it.
Yeah.
The
we
money
don't-
isn't there. I can guarantee you right now. I pull up my other list. I have I have 9 of them right now saying we want this. We want to be there. We want to do this with you. We want to make salvations with you. And we unfortunately have to sit back and go, we can't.
Yeah, we can't.
And it's absolutely is horrific to in my
Oh.
own thing for this, because it's like I want to reach out more. I want to bring more. I want to do more for them, but we can't. We just don't have it.
Amen. And what Ed's talking about here are people who are new
Yeah.
to Feed My Sheep Day. We have established and vetted missionaries and
Yes.
orphanages that are good at what they do, use the money correctly, they preach the correct gospel, they have proven themselves to receive money on a monthly basis.
Yes.
And we usually can raise just enough money to take care of all of them so they can do their work. And now we're having a lot of words getting out now, and a lot of people are flooding in to Feed My Sheep Today who are also great potential missionaries that have a lot of work and have people to reach, but we can't help them financially because now we have to grow. And this is where I'm hoping that the Lord will send a big giver, because usually when someone gives big, that enables us to take care of everybody and reach new people.
Mhm.
That is awesome. I love it when we were able to reach new people, and especially when we start getting sponsors in for our current missionaries and orphanages. Because what's going to happen is if we have a sponsor who is designated for that missionary or orphanage, like Shane was saying, that frees up the money that's been coming in for them. So that way we can now put it towards a new missionary, a new orphanage, and we can expand. Okay.
And as well, this might be a good time to mention this. Let me see how I can put this up here. If you are already giving and you're like, you know what, I just want to bump it up just a little notch. Maybe you're giving $20 and I want to bump it up to $30 or whatever. Again, just send me an email. You could send it to info@feedmysheeptoday.info. You can do it that way. You can email Bob. You can email support. I think that's probably the easiest way. Support at feedmysheeptoday.org. That way Shannon can see it as well. And then again, it's real easy because then I can reach out to you. I could reach out to you personally, like leave your phone number, email support at Feed My Sheep, and just say, maybe in the subject, we need a little hashtag. What's a good hashtag so we know it's about today? Rapture Fridays or something?
Rapture Fridays.
It's like Ready Friday.
Ready Friday. Yeah.
You gotta
So
be ready for the
hashtag.
rapture.
Yeah.
Ready.
So hashtag Ready Friday. If you put that in the subject and email support at feedmysheep.org, Shannon will get it. She'll send me the email. And then that way I can, whatever you put in the email, you could say, you know what, bump it up by $20 or $10 or make it $100 or call me. And then I'll just call you during the week as well. And we can talk about it. We can talk about, and I can pray over you guys as well. Because I know like there's a winter storm hitting America on the East Coast. So I get it. Like there's tough times, but if you're not being lambasted, this is a time to press in right now. It's the new year. We have plans. The Lord asks us to occupy. That is scriptural, meaning you put your head down and you work until the Lord comes. And if God is putting on your heart to give a little bit more, maybe you've been giving $20 or $30 a month and you're like, you know what? When I get a chance, I've been thinking about this over Christmas. I think I want to give $60 or $70. Maybe this is a chance now for you to do it, and I'll help you. It's easy, just a few clickety clacks, and I can help you, and you're on your way. And then you just forget about it, especially if it's monthly. You just park it, and it's done. So,
and other things too that we're working on right now. We're updating our website, and Ed could tell us a little bit about that now, because when we first started Feed My Sheep Today's website, it was just me behind all that, and I'm not a techie guy, So if you try to navigate that site, when I had it built, I told the developers I just want big buttons, make it easy as possible. And even as hard as I tried with my lineup, what I gave them, then trained eyes like Ed's here and Shane's here, when they looked at it, it's like, man, this thing's impossible to run. I'm like, really? I thought it was easy. So what have we changed on this website to make it easier for everybody, Ed, when they go there to give?
So going forward, going backward, we discussed having to make some changes to the website. And at first, I wasn't really too sure on what direction to go. Then Brother Shane gave me a call, and then we got to talking. And then I found out the real problem, was people were very confused on when they got in, when they went to go donate, they had to go to the donate, then were directed to a page, and then they were directed to another page, and then they were directed to a list of stuff, and it got people flustered. And the whole point of this is not to be flustered. We wanted to make sure that this was straightforward, in line, on the go, grab, done, and I'm happy. And that's what me and Brother Shane were talking about. We went through many different options, and then we collaborated with you and Shannon, got the whole team on it, and then we figured out that now it's just the way to go. So what we did is we went straight for, you want simple, this is as simple as you can have now. You hit donate once, you're taken to it. You make one option, one time, weekly, monthly, or quarterly, you pick it, and then you pick an amount and you hit donate, and you're done. We tried to make this as simplistic as possible for people who were actually calling in saying, I'm very confused. I don't know what I'm looking at. How do I get here? How do I get there?
And if you scroll down as well, like we talked about earlier, you can dedicate your donation in honor or memory, and that'll show up on our website. But you can also write us a comment. So in there, that's where you put your comments if you want it to go to a specific location, or you're like, this has to go 100% to Bibles. We can do that for you. And we can also display your donation and your comment as well on the wall. It's up to you what you want. Some people like it discreet. They don't like their name to be blasted everywhere, and we respect your privacy. But you could see $30, you're basically called a watcher. $50, you're a saint. $75 is an apostle. $100 is a witness. $500 dominions. $1,000 is thrones. We just wanted to make it a little bit more memorable. So when you're looking at it, there's a reason behind it as well. So, and you can enter whatever amount. So if you feel like $30 isn't your thing, you could put $70.77. You just enter your custom amount. Yeah.
Seen plenty of those, man.
Yeah. People get creative with their customs, and I mean
right. And we're also people already know we're also 501c3. All right. And so all your giving is tax deductible as well. And we send out at the beginning of the year email to everybody that has given online, so that way you have your tax information. I usually do that on the 1st, 2nd of January every year. And right now we're in the process of doing tax receipts now for everybody that's given by mail. All right. So that's the things we're doing now. Before there's so much work that I used to do by myself where I couldn't get it out to everybody, because I was like, well, maybe people who gave over 100, because you got a lot of $10 givers only once a year. So you have these huge number of $10 givers and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't have the time to do that, to make all the input it and make all the letters to do all that stuff. But now we have more manpower where we can do that. Okay, Manpower, aka Ed here. He's going to be in charge of that. So I want to make sure, and I think it's a good thing to make sure to get those tax receipts out to everybody. And look, just because you gave $10 last year doesn't mean you can't write off your taxes. All you got to do is show your bank statement. Okay, so you really don't need nothing. You don't need that from us. And plus, when you give on Donor Box, if you can't find the tax receipt that I sent you, just go to your own account and print it up right there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe this is important to mention to people as well. We use a company called Donor Box, and basically that's where we can see all the funds coming in and out of Donor Box. So if you have an account, it's automatically set up for you when you give. But if you want to make a change, all you have to do is go to donorbox.org and click on the link or click on the tab that says donor. Don't click on organization. Click on donor and then enter your email. It'll ask you to generate your very own private password. I can't access that. That's yours. I can see your account and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to make changes, that's the easiest way to do it, is to go to donorbox.org, click on the donor tab, and then you can up it. You can change your donation amount. You can change it to monthly, quarterly, weekly, whatever you want to do. It's all inside there. And if you still don't know how to do that, and you're like, I'm not a techie, I don't want to do it. Can't you just do it for me, Shane? Yes, I can. I can do that for you, and it's easy.
You
So
call
just email me.
Yeah. We have an email Shane, or just call the 800 number we have on our website. Contact us there, and you can talk to our secretary Shannon Messina. She will be able to do that for you as well if Shane's not available.
Right.
Yep.
So we do that for a lot of people all the time, because you get some people who are just never use a computer, hardly ever.
Yes.
So trust me, we can get it done. Okay. You don't have to be a techie in order to support Christian missions here.
It's a lot easier than most people think, just to give a call and ask for help.
Ed will be the techie guy.
Yep. Ed's our techie guy.
Yeah.
Same information. So, but right now, though, I've seen some sizable givers that came on here just recently. Holden Tidmore just donated $1,000 here.
Wow.
And Debbie Fosberg donated $1,000 here. I don't know if you're watching right now. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you so much, because that's the type of giving that creates a lot of momentum quickly.
A lot.
Have a Ken Hardgrave just donated $225. Cindy Ray right there at $50. Okay. Yep. And just because someone gave $1,000, look, they don't give $1,000 a week or $1,000 a month. They'll give $1,000 and they're done for the year. You, Cindy, are giving $50 a month, for example, and that turns into $700 and then $1,400 2 years. So you might outgive that $1,000 giver, and we know that. Okay, but be it as it may, we're all in different places at different times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. So whether you give a one-time donation or the monthly sustainers, you guys are key. It's the monthly sustainers that keep Feed My Sheep Today going. Because if we don't know what's coming in next month, we can't make promises to missionaries about where they should be the following month.
Right.
We can't do it. It's like, you realize when we do this, people think we just show up and people are there. No, you have to promote it by word of mouth. Okay, maybe a little bit on the internet when they do that. And these people have to walk for miles.
They have to travel.
Either at that one day to meet the guy bringing the humanitarian relief aid and the Bible. So it's like they're promoting this big event. Like we have this event over here, because I'm near Chicago, called the Taste of Chicago. Mm-hmm. And they'll promote that event. But the thing is, Taste of Chicago doesn't come to Bob's door here in Indiana.
I know.
I don't know when that event's going to be, so I can get over there and get some of that tasty food.
Yep.
All right. So that's how it works for us. So
I want to make a point out with what you just said. And then it's actually a valid point for it. You just said that, we have to reach out to these people. We have to pretty much promote it while we're there. And while we're promoting it, while we're there, our missionaries are there saying, hey, we're going to be here doing the humanitarian aid and handing out Bibles. That means people are wanting to come to hear, to receive, and to hear about the Lord. The salvations we've done during the years is not us going to people's doors and thumping the Bible on their doors and saying, "Have you heard?" They're coming to the missionaries and wanting to sit there and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be able to give everybody everything. Several times I've gotten emails saying we ran out of Bibles.
Yeah.
We don't have enough humanitarian aid over here. We hear that one a lot, and then it is what down is. But I'm actually surprised when I receive an email that says we ran out of Bibles here. We didn't have enough.
I hate it when that happens.
I would look at that. I'm like, how did you not have enough? And then all of a sudden I get the media and I'm looking at 200 people in the background. I'm like, that's why you didn't have enough. Yeah. You quite literally ran out. And I get pictures from the missionaries and their cars are loaded with Bibles. They're doing 3-4 events during the month and they're just running out in certain locations. And then other locations are like, we want to reach out more, but we can't get to X, Y, and Z because we can't do this or that. And it's like, okay, well, all I could say is do what you guys can right now because we can't supply here. And then, like we said before, we get those emails and saying, hey, we want to be part of this. And we're like, we can't.
Yeah.
So we have a comment here. So I sign up when I want the money taking out of every month. Yes. So when you sign up under monthly. And then from there, you just enter the amount that you want to be taken out of your account or your credit card or debit, Visa, whatever it is, cryptocurrency, whatever you feel led to give. And you just select monthly and it'll go as long as you want. And then whenever, if you're like, man, I got tough times ahead, whatever it is, you just hit the pause button and then we'll make sure that those missionaries are still covered on our dime because we don't want to starve anyone else out or that kind of thing. But just so you know how it works behind the scenes, when you pause your giving, we're still supporting those missionaries no matter what, come rain or shine. We're still supporting them. All we're doing is we're just allocating funds from somewhere else and putting it to make sure that they're taken care of. So it's not a deal breaker or anything like that when you pause, but I just want you guys to be aware of that. So some people do that. They'll be like, I just need 30 days because I'm moving from one state to another. I need 60 days or 90 days or whatever it is. We're willing to work with you. You just let us know. It's just easier to pause it than to cancel and then come back on. You could do it, but you just there are some people like the young generation. They don't like entering data every single day. Every time they donate, email, address, phone number, all that stuff, they just like to click.
Yep.
So if you have an account and you're donating once a month, you can up your giving whenever you want, just like I did today. You can up it, and then you can also change your monthly giving as well. So it's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that answers that question.
Mm-hmm. So time is running out, family. And I know we have a lot of stuff going on right now on the global political stage that's pointing towards the Rapture Resurrection event being a high possibility this year. Interesting enough, Feast of Trumpets falls on 9/11 this year. How about that?
On a Friday,
so, 9/11, which also some people even say that that's the day that Jesus was born, 9/11.
That's not a coincidence.
Yeah. He was born on December 25th. I believe he was conceived when the light entered the world, because when a child is conceived, the light,
I saw that. Light. Was that you that sent me that video? Somebody sent me a video of basically it's like a light wave actually going through.
Yeah, it's a creation of the spirit that grows the body. Okay. Wow. So that was a manifestation of the spirit being born, and in Jesus' case, spirit being transferred from heaven to earth inside a physical body. And then the spirit continues to grow that physical body. If you remove the spirit, guess what? The body no longer lives. It dies, and then mom has to pass it because of miscarriage. So life is at conception. All right.
Mhm.
So you need to have a spirit inside a body in order to grow the body. All right. Remove the spirit, like any of us. Any of our spirits leave our bodies, these bodies stop. Okay. And they just wither away. So what point was I making? Yeah. Jesus was not born on September 5th. He was conceived. And people think he was born on September, let's see, December 25th. Yeah. But people believe that he was born on 9/11, which
Mhm.
is why we have
I've heard that.
this type of like globalist movement on 9/11 for some reason. I don't know. That's not what the show is all about, but I do know we have some very interesting alignments taking place this year, and especially with the fact that it is 2026 and 2033 is 7 years from now. And we thinking that Jesus was his death, burial, resurrection took place on 32 AD. And it still holds, it can be done, but the farthest it can go is 33 AD, which now is starting to look like that is what the correct year is. 33 AD was death, burial, resurrection, which nobody would argue with that because then it makes sense. 0, 33 years old, all that stuff. Okay, the messianic those Mason's number 33, all that stuff. So it makes sense.
Freemason.
So 33 AD, 2033 might be the return of Jesus Christ. So if that's the case, 7 years back for the 7-year tribulation, that puts us in 2026. Okay. If we go beyond 2026 and 2027 now, the Lord's got to show us something different, right, Shane?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to give us some new information because he's like, you can't just let us sit here like Watchmen. It's like, hey, you guys gave us all this incredible information. And I've been tearing it up with alignments, stuff like that for the last 7 years. Okay. And it's actually since 2017 with the Revelation 12 sign. And so I've been aligning. It's like the 7 year block, guys, keeps shifting and shifting and shifting every year. And every year that it shifts, there's a good reason why that the 7-year tribulation should have taken place. But I think God is doing that to get us ready for the actual moment when this block stops shifting. And it stays right at the 7 years. And I think this year, 2026, is going to be the year
that it stops moving.
Takes place. And folks, funny question. Shane might want to comment on this. We've actually had people that said, well, Bob, what happens to our money if we get raptured? I was like, what are we going to do with the money after we get raptured? I'm like,
I know. I don't want to laugh because that's disrespectful.
That's not right. But
at the same time, in my head, I'm like, you're in heaven, hugging Jesus Christ, shaking hands with Samson, Moses, and you're asking me what happens to your $30 a month money after we're raptured to heaven. Like, I get it, but most of our missionaries are going to be gone as well, just so you know. And if we're handling children as well and helping them with food and clothing, they're gone as well. So it is an interesting question. But again, what we ask people, if you're giving like this, maybe you got to ask yourself why you're giving in the first place. Because if you're like this and you're in heaven and you're looking down at earth and Jesus is in front of you and you're like, I got to know why my $7.77, I want to know where that went. $7.77, Lord. I get it. We're in eternity right now. I get it. I want to see my seat that's in heavenly places. I want to check that out. But I'm so worried about this $7. Like, it's a different mindset. I get it, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird thing to ask. And I got bombarded with that last year.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Right around the 23rd, right?
Yeah, coincidence. People are like, what about my money? And they're not even saying like if I give today, they're saying, what about a year, 2 years, 3 years into the tribulation? What's going to happen with my monthly giving? Well, the Antichrist is going to be kind of in charge of all that stuff. So I think a lot of ministries are going to stop 3.5 years into Armageddon. Like, the whole world is going to shift most likely to a digital currency. And the only way that you can buy or sell as if you take the mark of the beast? That's a bigger question than what happens to you at year 6, getting ready to come back with Jesus Christ to invade because Israel's being swarmed. And you're thinking, I wonder if that bank account is still open.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to go and check that bank account in America, if America even exists. That's even a bigger question.
Well, we have a program for that. If you feel that way, we have a program for that. It's called Operation Bible Storm, where you could put your money towards a physical asset that can stay here on the earth and be able to be given to a tribulation saint by an angel, by the Lord, because Operation Bible Storm is essentially that we store Bibles in hidden places, and those Bibles are there for the tribulation saints. All right, that's what they're there for, and the Lord knows where they're at, and the Lord's instructed me to do this for this reason.
Yeah, complete
Okay.
with rapture letter as well.
Yep.
And a thumb
So-
drive, all that stuff. So the missionaries actually have this stuff so that if they go and someone else is like just on the fence, they're like, yeah, I don't believe in this Jesus Christ thing. I don't believe in the rapture. And poof, everybody's gone. All the Christians are gone. They'll be like, wait a minute. George said, if I go to this place and this is everything I need to know about what happened, they open up the letter. Here's where you can get the funds. Here's where the Bibles are hidden, all this kind of stuff. So we have thought about that as well, but it's a weird thing when you're in heaven, like honestly, but we're thinking about everything here, just so you know, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as like the checking account and the PayPals and the stripes and the donor boxes and stuff like that and all that. And especially like, look, we're all raptured. You're not going to have organic giving no more. That's all fall apart because people are not going to be hitting that send button for their organic giving where they give randomly. And then the sustainers, that'll go for a little while. But of course, when this whole thing goes down, guys, there's a massive transfer economic system changeover that they do.
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of out of our hands at that point. So if you're really concerned about that concerns you, two things I got to tell you. One, Operation Bible Storm. But two is the Lord sees your faithful giving even an hour before the rapture. Okay. And he could do the math. It's like, you know what? You decided to give $1,000 seed towards Feed My Sheep Today for Bibles. He saw that. So guess what? Even though that $1,000 didn't make it to the missionary, got tied up in a digital, river somewhere, it's still tied up. Guys, I'm rewarding you for that accordingly because this is what it would have done.
Because you did it.
Faith and stepped out and did it.
Yeah, you did it before we came back, before the initiation happened. You did this in faith before everybody else finally knew who chose not to be saved.
Yeah. Tim is
This
just
is actually
asking. Tim is just asking if this is live. Yes. This is not a pre-recorded
show.
We're
going to be doing this every Friday. I think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to keep our supporter base up to speed with everything that's happening now. And since a lot of changes are taking place now, it's kind of it's nice getting everybody up to speed now because there's just a lot of changes we're doing now to everything. Good changes. You're going to love it, especially when we start bringing on a lot of new missionaries. And we'll probably have them on here as well. We'll probably get some missionaries who are currently working with us, have them come on here, give their testimony. I think it's something we could probably do every week. I kind of like that idea on a Friday, something like that. So I'm probably going to have to live stream on my channel too.
Yeah, so sure. We'll figure that out for you. Is this streaming right now on your show or no? On your channel?
I didn't get that far. So basically, I have Uptime streamed on my channel, but turns out Greg has to get on there and post it every single week. Okay. I thought if I just because a Black Swan Revelations is a featured channel on my channel, and I thought it just automatically would stream. It should be channel, but it doesn't work that way. So now I got to figure out.
Yeah, it's interesting because if people come on my show as guests and all that, including yourself. And if you have a YouTube channel, usually you can just hook it up, connect your channel to this, and then it streams live. Because I've done that on Bible study with Derek. I just go on his show, connect the button, and then it shows up on my channel while I'm on his show, which is great for your audience because they don't have to bounce around
Right.
to all the channels. But we'll make sure and
We'll figure that out for next week. We'll be streaming on my channel next week. So go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah, and
say?
it's not a hard, like, we're not doing this every week to ask people, but I think it's important to know that, hey, we are moving and shaking, and we're actually attacking the kingdom of darkness on a weekly basis. So I think it's important for people to know what's going on live. Like, we are live, Tim. I don't know. I think he's like, are you sure? Maybe a better question is, are we in a simulation?
Yeah.
He's like, are you live? Are
I'm
you
going to
live?
post this. Now, I will post this later on my channel, this whole video. And at that point, we won't be live. So if you're watching my channel right now, we are not live.
Yes.
We were live.
We were
This
live.
is 11 o'clock, 11:19 my time in Mountain Standard Time, 12:19 p.m. Central, 1:19 p.m. So if you're watching this at midnight, chances are this is not live.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Got that.
I think we pretty much covered everything. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, I think that's good for today's show. I hope the audience appreciates what we're trying to do here. We're trying to be transparent as well. Coincidentally, I did a poll the other day, and my channel was voted most transparent out of NBC, ABC, TMZ, all that. It's kind of a slanted poll because it's sent out to my audience. So
Your audience.
I won hands
we got
down.
click him.
But I do try and be transparent as
Yeah.
well, as much as I can and all that stuff. So, but yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Bob, for being on the show, and Ed as well. If you guys don't mind sticking around in the back, I'll just say goodbye to my audience. Awesome.
God bless everybody.
All right. So yeah, so that was fun. And this is something that we're going to try and do each week for you guys, just to keep you up to speed as to what's going on with Feed My Sheep today. And then, like Bob said, we're going to try and have some of our missionaries on as a guest as well, live, so you can actually ask questions, all this kind of stuff. And I think that would be fun. I'm going to see if we can get Michael on here as well, maybe Jason K, all this kind of stuff. So it'll be fun, exciting times. So thank you guys. Thank you for being on the show, Bob and Ed. Appreciate you guys. And thank you to my audience for hanging out with us on a Friday morning. So God bless. I'll see you guys in another video, and bye for now. Ciao.
Black Swan Revelations here on YouTube brought you today's mind-bending journey. Dive into the discussion, your comments, questions, prayer requests, and powerful testimonies of Jesus' love are what fuel this community. Did today's episode hit home? Smash that like button. New here? Subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss a live stream or a video upload. Thanks for being part of today's adventure. Catch you in the next video, or maybe even in the clouds. Stay curious, stay blessed.